Welcome back. Now we go outside to Laura Booth with your 5-day weather forecast.
Toronto's cold snap continues today as Humber students are bundling up as it's reached a bone-chilling low of -17 today. Here's your 5-day weather forecast. Mainly clear and sunny skies this afternoon and into the evening as we reach a high of -10. However, those clear skies will dissipate overnight. Friday, we can expect some scattered flurries, about 2 to 4 centimeters to stay on the ground. It will still be pretty chilly with a high of -5 degrees that will carry into the weekend. Saturday, we can expect some sunny breaks, and by Sunday, the sun will be out, bringing us to a high of -3. And lastly, Monday, we can expect some light snow and a high of 2 degrees. That's all for your weather update. Now back to the newsroom. I'm Laura Booth.
Thanks, Laura. Now on to national and international news. Search efforts for a missing plane carrying 3 Canadians to Antarctica continue today. The mission had been delayed since last night due to high winds and heavy cloud cover. The trio was flying from the South Pole on their way to Terra Nova Bay when their twin otter plane vanished over a mountain range by McMurdo Station. The plane's emergency locator was able to send signals before going offline. Rescuers say they have a fix on the position. The pilot has been identified as Bob Heath from the Northwest Territories. The other 2 crew members have not yet been identified.
Attawapiskat Chief Teresa Spence has ended her 6-week hunger strike today. Her decision follows the signing of a declaration by the Assembly of First Nations and both the Liberal and NDP parties. The declaration addresses the concerns of Chief Spence with 13 specific commitments. Spence was absent from a press conference held in Ottawa earlier today as she recuperates in hospital. But interim Liberal leader Bob Rae was there, saying Spence's struggle is much bigger than her hunger strike.
Frankly, polls may come up and down. People may say this or that about this issue. To me, it's not about polls. It's about justice. It's about doing the right thing, and it's about showing the imagination that's required to get something done. And I don't think Mr. Harper has that.
Spence's supporters vow that despite the end of the fast, their fight will continue.
Canada is considering extending its support of the mission in Mali. The French-led intervention in the Western African nation was launched on January 11th after Islamic extremists made gains in the region. Canada's current commitment, 1 cargo plane to deliver equipment and troops, ends today. But Prime Minister Stephen Harper insists he would like to see a broad consensus, including within the House of Commons, before Canada takes any further steps. Harper has reportedly spoken to NDP Tom Mauclair. The opposition leader says any further action in Mali must be debated in Parliament. MPs will not be back in the House of Commons until this Monday.
North Korea's top governing body warned today they will go forward with a 3rd nuclear test despite UN sanctions. They say they have long-range rockets designed to carry warheads aimed at the United States. This is a dramatic step up in the level of threats against the Americans. The statement is in defiance of the UN after the Security Council's condemnation of North Korea last Tuesday. The UN deemed North Korea's long-range rocket launch back in December as a banned missile activity. Leader Kim Jong-un insisted that launch was peaceful, meant to send a satellite into space. The White House criticized today's threats as needlessly provocative, saying any such action will only push North Korea further into diplomatic isolation.
Unisex front lines have come to America. The U.S. Department of Defense has lifted its ban on women serving in the combat. Pentagon Chief Leon Panetta made the announcement, saying not everyone can be a combat soldier, but everyone should have a chance. Defense Department officials say the move opens up more than 230,000 battlefront posts and elite commando jobs for women. The decision was recommended by the Joint Chiefs of Staff and overturns a 1994 rule that kept women out of combat. Currently, women make up 14% of the 1.4 million active personnel. Armed services will have until 2016 to comply with the changes.
And now with your sports news, here's Mark Mullen.
Well, folks, Humber Hawks basketball teams were in action last night. The women are on a 2-game win streak after they defeated the Mohawk Mountaineers on the road 50-43. The women improved their record to 8-4 with an equal number of wins at home and on the road. The men lost a close game to Mohawk again 80-77. Their record drops to 8-5 overall with only 2 of their wins coming at home, the other 6 on the road. Tonight, the volleyball teams will have a turn to take on the Mohawk Mountaineers here at Humber. The men are rolling on a 2-game win streak and looking to serve up another win tonight. The guys are 8-4 on the season and sit 2 spots ahead of Mohawk in 4th. The women are still undefeated with 12 wins. Last time these two teams played, the Humber men won 3 sets to 2, and the women pulled off an impressive 3-0 win. First serve is at 6. The Toronto Maple Leafs are in town tonight hosting the New York Islanders, but they'll have to do without forward Joffrey Lupul. Lupul has a fractured forearm after he was hit by a puck from Dion Phaneuf's point shot in the second period last night. Leafs forward James Van Riemsdyk says other players will have to step up in Lupul's absence.
I mean, it's a kind of a weird kind of play, but I mean, he's in the tough area on the ice, the front of the net there, and that kind of stuff happens. But yeah, he's definitely a guy that we're going to miss, and it's not going to be one guy that can replace what he brings to the table. It's going to take a lot of people stepping up.
Even without Lupul for the third, the Leafs were able to come out on top with a 5-2 win. James Reimer got the start in between the pipes last night, so it'll be interesting to see whose number gets called tonight against the Isles. Let's see how these teams match up. After last night, the Leafs have 2 wins and 1 loss with 8 goals for and 5 goals against. The New York Islanders have only played 2 games, but are an even 1-1 with 5 goals for and 5 goals against. Puck drop is at 7. Other NHL teams in action tonight. The Montreal Canadiens head to Washington to take on the Capitals. The Ottawa Senators are flying south to Florida to face off against the Panthers. And the Edmonton Oilers will host the defending Stanley Cup champs, the Los Angeles Kings, at 9:30. The Raptors continue their road trip, taking on the Orlando Magic tonight. The Raps fell short last night against the Miami Heat, losing 123-116 in overtime, and are looking to bounce back. These two teams match up pretty evenly. The Raps sit in 11th place in the Eastern Conference with 15 wins, 27 losses, and are 4-18 on the road. The Magic are 12th in the East with 14 wins and 27 losses on the season, and are a disappointing 8-14 on their home court. Tip-off is at 7. That's it for sports. Back to you guys in the studio.
That's all for Humber News today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Katie Boyvin.
And I'm Daniel Bazzelli. Humber News is written and produced by journalism students at the North Campus. You can also catch us on YouTube. We'll see you next time.